Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kevin McNulty. I'm a member of the board of the Uncle Dave Macon Festival. And listen, it is just an absolute privilege and pleasure to be here with you all. I'd like to welcome you to 2018 Uncle Dave Macon Days press conference. And under the vision of Gloria Christie and the direction of Ben Wilson, our executive director, you know, this year, well, let me just say that the past years, this festival has grown in ways that we really never expected. And I got to tell you that this year is just no exception. It's going to be so fantastic that I'm literally just excited and to be here and to invite you to the festival and the things that we're going to talk about today. So, you know, before we get started here, I just want to start off actually with a call to action. This, you know, first of all, we do have some celebrities in the house, I might just say. And, you know, this year is going to be so big that I want you all to be our advocates, our cheerleaders, our promotional system and network, because we want to make this the biggest and the best ever. And we have some big shoes to fill from the years past, I got to tell you that. But I'm so confident about this year, and I want you all to go out and spread the word.
Thank you so much. It is truly a great day in Murfreesboro when you can start your afternoon off like this. And on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce and the Convention and Visitors Bureau, we want to welcome you and thank you so much for attending. We would also like to thank Gloria Christie, Ben Wilson, the City of Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, and the many performers and volunteers that it takes to roll out the red carpet to nearly 25,000 attendees every year. The tourism economic impact in Rutherford County for 1 year is $331 million, and those numbers reflect a 4.9% increase over the previous year, which is well above the national and state average. And our most recent STAR report shows that 1,142,000 hotel room nights were sold within the last 12 months, and that is 52,000 room nights over the previous year. And this increase is due primarily to the many events that we host every year. And Uncle Dave Macon Days contributes $1.2 million every year towards our numbers. And I think that deserves a round of applause. And Uncle Dave Macon Days has been recognized as one of the top festivals in the state, and once again recognized by the Southeast Tourism Society last year as being one of the top 20 events in the Southeast. Not just Tennessee, folks, but the Southeast, and we're certainly proud about that. And yes, and we're looking forward to hosting Uncle Dave Macon Days for many years to come. So thank you, and I'll turn it back over to Kevin.
Thank you so much, Barbara, and for your incredible support. So listen, I don't need to tell you all that the festival has such an incredible history here in Rutherford County and in the city of Murfreesboro. And so we want to just spend a few minutes to talk about that. And I'd like to then invite up a member of our board, but even more distinguished than that, he is the great-grandson of Uncle Dave. And by the way, a published author, may we just say, of an incredible book that he'll come talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike Doubler. Colonel Mike Doubler.
Thank you, Kevin. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. As Kevin mentioned, my name is Mike Doubler. I'm a member of the board of directors on the festival, and Uncle Dave Macon was my great-grandfather. And I've been asked to make a few comments about the heritage of the festival. I had some notes here, but I'm going to set them aside for a minute because of this music we just heard. The song Sail Away Ladies, that was a great rendition, guys. Ma'am, appreciate it. Let's put this in perspective. Uncle Dave heard this song when he was a teenager in Nashville in the 1880s. It was a work song on the steamships on the Cumberland River. And he loved it, and he learned it about the time he learned to play the banjo. That was in about 1885. This song was recorded commercially in New York City in May of 1927 in a session that was, I think, the greatest old-time music ever recorded. To put it in perspective, how long this has been and how important this is as a people and as music lovers. The day after they completed this watershed recording session, as they were packing their bags to come back to Murfreesboro, Charles Lindbergh landed in the Spirit of St. Louis on Long Island to prepare for his flight to Paris. He gassed the Spirit of St. Louis. And Uncle Dave and Kirk and Sam McGee and Maisie Todd left to come home, and Lindbergh left to go to Paris. They all made it home safely. That's just how important this tradition is. Let me make another comparison. The Opry itself is over 90 years old. We'll have the 100th anniversary in 2025. This festival is 40, going on 41. That's an amazing accomplishment for a local institution. And both of those institutions, the Opry and this festival, have the same start point: the life and career of Uncle Dave Macon. Our first festival was in 1978, held up on the square, as a lot of you know. It rained that day. Surprise, surprise. That happens. 50 people showed up at the Uncle Dave Macon banjo picking contest. And that's so important because those 50 people became, in subsequent years, the core of the volunteers that led to where we're at today. And I salute those people for their dedication. And among those, of course, was Gloria and her son eventually that came on board too. Ben. And it's been a tremendous thing. If you look at the people who have won awards from Uncle Dave Days, the Heritage and the Traillblazer Awards, it is a who's who of country music. Roy Acuff, Bill Monroe, Ralph Stanley, Marty Stewart, on and on and on. And it continues because of the talent that we have. Rhonda Vincent is with us today. Rhonda was there last year. And what a great show she put on, and we're looking forward to that again. So all this comes together in one weekend in the summer, and it's getting bigger and better as we proceed, and I'm confident that that will continue. I got some breaking news for you. Last couple of years, I've come to this podium to give you an update on the biography that I'm working on Uncle Dave. Today's my final report. It's finished. Not only that, it will be going to the printer's shop very shortly. I want to announce that the national release of the first full biography of Uncle Dave Macon, entitled Dixie Dewdrop, the Uncle Dave Macon story, the national release of this book will occur on Friday, July 13th, the first day of the festival. The publisher, the University of Illinois Press, has gone to great efforts, and they're one of the greatest publishers of music books in America, in my opinion. They've gone to great effort to make sure that those books will be available to us. So come by the Macon Doubler Fellowship tent during the festival, and we'll have copies of the book available for sale. I've been told that the author will be available from 4 to 7 p.m. both days to sign. The national release of the book will occur online on or about the 1st of September, and it will be available to everyone at all the normal book-selling sites on the internet and in bookstores nationwide. This book covers the full extent of Uncle Dave's life in many respects. All the fun, all the accomplishments, his induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame, the first time he played on the Opry, but it wasn't all fun and frolic. It was stressful. And Uncle Dave had some personal things to deal with, and I take that head on in the book. With depression and alcoholism, how did he accomplish that? That's the main storyline of the book. It's a very human story that I think that you will enjoy. The first reviewer of this book was Ronnie Pugh, who is the well-known biographer of Ernest Tubb. And he wrote that Dixie Dewdrop, the Uncle Dave Macon story, is the most significant contribution to the history of country music that has appeared in many years. So that's from somebody else. So So there it is in a nutshell. The book will be out. Like I said, the national debut will be at the festival. Come on down and see us. And you're going to learn a lot more about Uncle Dave and his wonderful story and the man that he was and his music.
Listen, and so what we're talking about here, really about Uncle Dave, is we've got three things that we want to talk about. One, to educate, and that's what Mike just talked about, you know, sort of this decade of destiny. And so now we're going to talk about embracing, you know, embracing the new things. And I'd like to really invite my mentor and, you know, one of the great people in my life and in many of your lives. She's the president of Uncle Dave Macon Board, who's going to talk to you about embracing, ladies and gentlemen, Gloria Christie.
Well, I love this part because I said, Kevin, oh, wow, I get to embrace? Is that what I get to do? So, as my aunt would say, consider yourself hugged. I have to tell you something. Uncle Dave Macon and the story and this work that we've done now for 41 years has changed my life. I came on board in 1983, 84, and don't go doing the math, okay? But it's been at the center of what I wanted my life purpose to be for so long because I love the history of Rutherford County. Don't get me started on that, Dan, wherever you are. I love what happened here. I love the music. I know that Mike and I, that we think somehow know that the Macons and the Shacklets came over on the boat from France because we were all Huguenots. But what I want to tell you, embracing Uncle Dave Macon Days, it's not just about what happened in the legacy of the festival and the legacy of Uncle Dave, but it's about moving forward too and doing new things that will capture the hearts and minds of all those people that are coming year after year, but those people that are coming after us. I was just thinking the other day, there's very few of us left who started in 1978, or I know I've got a lot of members of the Uncle Dave Macon Committee, but raise your hand if you are on the board, or if you've been a part of it, or if you're new. Look, oh yeah, see, some of us have gone to be with Jesus. A lot of us have. But one of the things that is so exciting about some of the things that are happening is our involvement with the Dixie Dewdrop Jamboree, and they're going to come up in just a minute, and I know Kevin's going to talk about that. We've partnered with them to do some new kind of revitalizing the content and making it more relevant. We were doing some more things with the Concerts After Dark. In fact, let me just say that, okay. Ben started this idea, my son Ben, about, 4 years ago maybe when he came on board, and he was giving me this idea, Mom, you need to do something after that contest, and I'm like, oh, no, it's all about the contest. No, we need to do something that invigorates it, and most of the time you don't listen to your kids, right? But I did, and it worked. And now thousands of people are coming at 3 to 4 o'clock, and they're going down into the village, and it's going to be amazing this time. We're going to tell you all about that with Rhonda's what we're going to do on the Concerts After Dark on the 13th and 14th of July. So these are wonderful things that are happening. The embrace part, I thought this is kind of appropriate because all I've ever wanted to see us do at Uncle Dave, I know we're going to entertain, I know we're going to do a lot of things beyond the stages, and that's, in fact, Eventbrite said that those festivals that are going to survive are going to do things that not only on the stages, but beyond the stages, and we are definitely trying to do that. So, you see that sign over there? Let's go play. That's what I love to think. I love that. That's what we're going to do at Uncle Dave this year. We're going to play, all right? That's the operative word.
So educate, Mike, embrace Gloria, and then we want to talk about expanding. And as Gloria just articulated there, that, we've expanded our reach with a great guy and who's brought some great institutional power and knowledge to our festival. And so I'd like to introduce Larry Martin, who is the producer of Dewdrop Jamboree and the American Musical Arts Group. Where are you at, Larry? Come on up and talk to us a little bit. Larry Martin.
All right, everybody, we appreciate y'all being here. We had a big time last year at Uncle Dave Macon with the Dewdrop Jamboree, and we're going to have a big time this year. Matter of fact, I've got a show starting the season off Saturday night over here at Patterson Park. So if any of you are in town, we'd love to have you over there. But we're trying to expand it just a little bit. We have a lot of different genres on our show, from classic country, traditional, bluegrass, gospel. We even have a barbershop quartet from time to time. And we're just trying to expand it a little bit. It all started with Uncle Dave Macon and that music a long time ago, and everything's kind of come forward. I'm not sure I'm real crazy about the country music that's on the radio these days, but that's what it is. And we appreciate y'all being here, and everybody come out to Uncle Dave Macon. We'd sure love to see you. Come see the Dewdrop Jamboree Saturday night.
All right. Thank you so much, Larry. So listen, again, you know that it takes really just an entire village, an entire city to put together the Uncle Dave Macon Festival. And our city of Murfreesboro has just been #1. They've stepped up in such a big way. And so I'd like to introduce to you someone who has personally been very involved and helped us out a lot. He's just going to welcome you just a bit from the city. He's the Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation from the city of Murfreesboro. Ladies and gentlemen, Nate Williams.
I just wanted to say I've been involved with this festival for 5 or 6 years now. It's been an honor. It's something we love hosting. It's something that I've come to find a passion for, and I'm glad to say that the work coming up to the festival this year is already happening. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the hard work of our staff at Cannonsburg. We have with us Ricky Halliburton, Tammy Klein, and our Recreation Facility Coordinator, Sheila Hodges, who put a ton of work into it, and they're starting now. So I want to tell them thank you for that. But like I said, we're looking forward to another great year. And on behalf of the City of Murfreesboro, the City Council, everybody involved here in Murfreesboro, we'd like to say welcome to the guests and our special talent here. And just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming.
So listen, with every endeavor, especially a long-term endeavor, 40 years of Uncle Dave and so forth, the festival, you can always kind of point to, pivotal points. And I got to tell you, the next person I'm about to introduce to you has been one of those big pivotal points for our board and our festival. And he is our executive director and the director of the festival, who's going to talk to you a little bit about the festival. My friend and a really hard worker, Ben Wilson.
When you talk about pivotal moments, you talk about the genesis of things. And I'll go ahead and introduce our Heritage Award winner for this year first. He was with Jesse Messick, Billy Henson at the genesis of Uncle Dave Macon Days 42 years ago when they started planning this thing for the first one. And brought us to where we are today, really. And we try to continue what we started by enhancing it and getting more people involved and getting people outside of the genre involved and giving people things that they're interested in to just expand the umbrella for us. And one of those people that started that was Tom Perryman. And I'm going to introduce Tom here because he knows a whole lot about more about him than I do because he's his grandson. So we'll let him talk about it.
Papa never used a script, so I'm not going to use one either. My grandfather was born in 1927, picking cotton, and he went to go pick. Sorry, guys. My grandfather passed this January. He went to picking records. He said, the only thing left to do where I can still pick, instead of dropping sacks of cotton, is pick records. So he did. He went to Jacksonville, Texas after graduating and started picking records. He then later came to Nashville, Tennessee after booking many artists down in Jacksonville, Louisiana hayride, like Hank Williams, Kitty Wells, Elvis Presley. He moved to Nashville and got a job at WSM Radio. Started a thing called the Opry Star Spotlight. Some of you may have heard of that show. Later they had a contest and it became the WSM all-night show. My grandfather left Tennessee, went back to Texas, started a radio station with Jim Reeves and many others. And Mary Reeves, Jim Reeves' widow, after Jim Reeves passed, they were going to buy a radio station together, and Mary and him came back to Tennessee and bought the radio station in 1967. When he got here, he kept promoting bluegrass and old-time music, and my mother told me earlier today, one of the first things he did is he actually ended up booking Lester Flatt at Jackson Heights. That tells you how long ago that's been. Back when it was, I think, Carmack. I don't know if it was Carmack then yet or not, but So my grandfather worked many years at the radio, and then he ended up leaving radio, went to work for Jim Reeves. He quit that, and in 2000, he got a job, went back into radio, and as soon as he got down there, he started a bluegrass show on Saturdays at his radio station. My grandfather was big in promoting bluegrass and old-time music, and as Ben told you, 42 years ago, he was on the golf course with Johnny Bragg, and John Bragg came to him and said, Tom, you know, Uncle Dave was not too far from here. We need to get something started to honor him. You know the people, let's make it happen. And he did. Pop was planning on being up here last year for the 40th. He couldn't make it because he had a stroke, he was real sick. But he's here with us now. So thank you, Ben, and I hope y'all can be there to see my grandfather get the Heritage Award.
And that's something. So what we're going to do now, we'll go over the concerts, the lineup announcement for 2018. You can hold your applause till the end so I can get through it. But Friday night will be Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, Flat Lonesome, Ralph Stanley 2, and Hogslop will be doing a late night square dance for us. That's how it's going to be billed this year. Saturday night will be Rhonda Vincent again, the Isaacs, the Cleverleys, Newtown, and the Glade City Rounders. The Cleverleys are also going to be billed as a late night comedy show for us. Them and the Isaacs are a little something different for us, but I think when we talked about expanding our reach, expanding our umbrella, exposing more people to the contest through giving them something that they're familiar with, this is our goal right here. Okay. The Traillblazer Award for this year is Rhonda Vincent. She is the first person to hold the Heritage Award winner and Trailblazer winner collectively in the history of Uncle Dave.
And she's a woman.
And she's a woman. My mother reminded me. I was aware that she was a woman. Thank you. She is a eight-time, IBMA Female Vocalist of the Year, a Grammy Award winner for the first time this year with All the Rage Volume 1. So guys, give her a hand for that. They are the most awarded bluegrass group in history. She is famously crowned the new Queen of Bluegrass by the Wall Street Journal and the most decorated artist in that field. Vincent's music incorporates savvy contemporary touches while drawing deeply from the authentic traditions of classic bluegrass. With a flawless band that can execute breakneck instrumentals to heart-wrenching ballads, her latest project, Taken, features special guests ranging from Dolly Parton to Richard Marx, so be on the lookout for that. With over 80 awards to their name, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, once again, is the most celebrated band in bluegrass. The best quote that I've heard about her from Billboard magazine is, Rhonda Vincent and the Rage are too good to be mortal. So they'll have 2 nights to prove it at Uncle Dave's this year. Hey guys, I'm going to let her come up here. She does have a big surprise for us this year, and we are absolutely thrilled that she worked with us on a project and has picked us to help her on a project. And I'll let her come up here and tell you more about that.
What a special honor. Thank you so very much. I'm proud to be here this morning, and it's so excited to come back to Uncle Dave Macon Days. I love that it merges, young, talented musicians. It's a chance for the youngsters. You get in contests, you get to have this wonderful camaraderie with other youngsters, and not only of all generations, and that's the wonderful thing. Uncle Dave Macon Days, like many festivals, it's family entertainment, and it's something you can bring grandma, you can bring the baby, and it's just wonderful family entertainment, and we always have such a great time. Last year, I was walking around the park seeing the jams, and it's like, we're supposed to perform that night, and people are like, you just need to wait. You're supposed to be mysteriously waiting until the show that night. But it's like, I want to, it's like my childhood growing up the festivals, and that's what I love, coming here and getting to walk around and to join in the jam sessions. And I haven't told Ben, I don't know if I've talked to you about this yet, but I even have maybe even a special surprise for the parade. You know, if just performing that night is not enough. I love that we, you know, I'm planning to get involved in every aspect. I hope that's okay. So really excited about that. And so not only performing here, I love the artists that are coming too. You know, Flat Lonesome. It's wonderful that the family is also represented in, you know, the Isaacs are a family. Ralph too grew up with his father, and Flat Lonesome. So there's a lot of family represented, just even in the bands that are performing there. But I have, speaking of family, I'm very excited to get to release a project here at Uncle Dave Macon Days for a couple of different aspects. The project was filmed, it's a DVD, it's also a CD. It was filmed at the Ryman Auditorium, and but the significance of releasing it on this weekend, the product number ended up being 01313, which I was born on Friday the 13th. So the 13th has always been my lucky number. And as you know, Uncle Dave Macon Days begins on Friday, July the 13th this year. So it's my birthday. This CD is going to be released on that day because music is released on Friday. Saturday, July 14th, is 2 years, or it will be 2 years to the day that this project was filmed and recorded. And it was not just a performance by Rhonda Vincent and the Rage, but we were joined by legends of bluegrass. And that included Jesse McReynolds, who at the time was 87, Bobby Osborne, who was 84, and Mac Wiseman was 91. And then Sonny Osborne surprised us all. He had not performed with his brother Bobby since 2005. And he surprised us all and came there that night, performed with Bobby. And so this is an incredibly historic, important project. And if it's okay, I would like to reveal for the very first time the cover of that project that will be released July 13th. And all of these guys are scheduled to be with us at 5 o'clock on July the 14th to celebrate the release of Live at the Ryman. So, for the first time anywhere. And the cover design is by Jason Lee Denton, and so we thank him for preparing that and having that ready here for today. So be sure to watch for that. Join us in celebration. Both days we'll be celebrating July 13th and 14th. Many, many things to celebrate here at Uncle Dave Macon Days, and we're so looking forward to it. So thank you so very much for all you do for our bluegrass and, well, just the music community.
Okay, so you, of course, you can't have a festival without financial support. And guys, we, honestly, if you look at our lineup and look at the ticket price, we are by far the best value in Middle Tennessee, if not the South, for a $10 ticket price. I know we take it over the head sometimes because we had to start charging, but there's other reasons why you have to charge. You also have to charge for security because you can control your grounds. But with the small ticket price and the great roster that we have, we wouldn't be able to do that without sponsors. Redstone Federal Credit Union is a big new sponsor for us this year, so I want to thank them. I want to thank Old South, who's been with us, oh Lord, 20-something years probably. Kroger, this will be their fifth year with us. Tire World and Dana Womack, State Farm, and the Crossings at Victory Station is also a big sponsor for us this year. So if you would help me thank them. And also, I have to thank the city, and I have to thank Ready Set Rutherford and the CVB and the Chamber of Commerce who have stepped up to the plate greatly this year. They've always been a partner with us and helped us through good times and bad. And there's sometimes you just don't know when you're putting on an event like this the cost of actually renting the land and the sanitation that's involved. And what they do for us is absolutely remarkable. So please give the city, the Chamber of Commerce, and Ready Set Rutherford a hand.
That wraps it up. We are so grateful that you came out to be a part of it. We, again, My call to action for you is please go out and be our promotion machine. It's going to be unbelievable. July 13th and 14th, the Uncle Dave Macon Days Festival. Thank you. Good day. Have a great one.